There's a saying, positive thinking will let you do everything better than negative thinking will. That's especially important when facing a medical crisis like breast cancer. As a coach, teacher, and author, Jenny Block helps us remove self-sabotage, build momentum, and manifest our goals in her new book, Badass Manifesting. The premise came from how loved ones handled her mom's breast cancer diagnosis. And Jenny joins us this morning. Good morning, Jenny.
How are you?
Oh, wow. Okay. They say that almost everybody knows someone who has dealt with breast cancer, and that came into your life. You were an actress on tour with a children's theater company, living your life, and then your mom had some news.
Yes, I got this phone call very much out of the blue saying, "Don't worry, but," and I thought, no, I am worried. And so I took a leave of absence and went home to take care of her, which I could not be any more grateful for that opportunity. And, listening to your previous guest, it is very true. I think my mother would say today that she learned a great deal from that experience, and I did as well.
Yeah, you did as well. One thing you noticed was that the doctor was kind of grumpy and negative, and you decided that you would be the light.
Yes, exactly. I can't lie. I was terribly disappointed because I don't know, I had these sort of fantasies about this sort of lovely experience in the middle of this awful experience. And he was quite negative. And I remember politely asking him to leave us be while we made decisions. And he was even put her in what I considered an old supply closet, it looked like, instead of a room. And I got her moved to somewhere with windows. And we really, to be honest, manifested the best possible experience out of something that was not a lovely experience.
Yeah, you did something that was popular today, but you were ahead of the curve, as you always are on things. And that's, you bought her coloring books and crayons, and you just changed everything from drab to fab.
I like to think so. And I remember when she woke up to that coloring book and crayons and she said, "You always know just what I like." And it was a silly little thing, but that is always what I talk about when we talk about manifesting the best in the worst. And sometimes it's as simple as coloring books and crayons.
Yeah, yeah. And a lot of us realize that we can oftentimes show up for other people, but we can't show up for ourselves, which is something your dad is a rabbi, and he was scared. And suddenly a man who was used to helping everybody else almost felt helpless at times.
Exactly. I think helpless is the perfect word. I mean, as a rabbi, my father is an incredible, supportive man and has helped so many families. And then suddenly there was crisis in his own backyard. And I felt like that gave me the opportunity to be there for him as well. And so to sort of be like, I'm going to take all the things you taught me about manifesting the best possible outcome when we don't know what the outcome is going to be, and then being there for him and for her and just being as strong of a family as we could at that time.
Yeah, you say we can't control everything, but we can control how we respond to everything. Positive thinking versus manifesting. Those two words are oftentimes used in an interchangeable way, but you say they're different.
Very true, because it's one thing to say everything's fine, which I have to tell you, as someone who has been sick, thank goodness not cancer, but otherwise ill, and people say, "Oh, you're going to be fine. Just think positive, think happy thoughts." And I think, what are you talking about? What is that? I'm not feeling very happy right now. Instead, to manifest the way that I want to feel. I am prioritizing my health.
You're in charge.
I will be a healthy person.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. To be in charge of how I'm feeling and how I respond to all the news that I get. Now, do I always do that? Of course not. Is it easy? Absolutely not. But when I do that and when I work with people and help them do it as well, boy, can it change your outcomes.
Yeah, one thing you have to do is remove self-sabotage. I can't tell you how many friends of mine will say, "I know I should get my mammogram, but I'm afraid of what we'll find." That's almost a form of self-sabotage.
Right, exactly. And this we learned in the 80s from those great PSAs, knowledge is power, and that could not be any more true here. So not wanting the results doesn't change what the results are. So it makes much more sense to me to say to myself and say out loud to the universe, I want to know what the truth is, and I'm going to live in that truth in the best way possible.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, go get that mammogram. I have to say now I am a diehard about getting my mammogram. I get a very nice text from Solis Mammography, and I go every year as soon as I get that note because I want to know what the truth is. That way I can move forward and manifest the future that I want based on that truth.
Yeah, especially since you know that it runs in your family, your mom having gone through it. And by the way, she survived it. Let's go ahead and put that out there. With your book, you collected stories of women who manifested outcomes. And there's all kinds of great examples in there. But one in particular seems like it could be so silly, but speaks to what you say, nothing is silly. If it's your story and what you need to happen, then make it happen. Let's share the story about Kay Hoffman and mosquitoes.
Such an amazing story. So this is an amazing friend of mine out in Michigan who was diagnosed with breast cancer years ago. And after she had some lymph nodes removed under her right arm, it was really important that she not end up with lymphedema. And so she lives on this beautiful giant property, and she likes to sit in what she calls her back 40. And there are lots of mosquitoes there. It's Michigan. And so she said one day that she needed to manifest that those mosquitoes were not going to bite her right arm. And she said, "Mosquitoes, I know you need blood, and you're welcome to both of my legs, and you're welcome to my left arm, but you have to leave my right arm alone." And she would say that every day when she go out and sit there. And you know what? She never did get a mosquito bite on that right arm. She got plenty of them on her legs and her left arm. And even when she was off her own property, still no mosquito bites on her right arm. So, I mean, as we say, it works when you work it.
She was negotiating with them. She's like, "Look, I know you need it, but just not right here." All right. And you
exactly.
You also have manifested stuff in your personal life and in all kinds of ways. You wanted at one point to cover style and weddings for the New York Times. You manifested that dream during COVID. And by the way, you're out of town right now. Otherwise, you would have been on the set with us. But you're out of town doing what right now?
Well, right now I am very excited to say I am here to check out the new 1587 Steakhouse here in Kansas City, secretly hoping that Taylor and Travis will be there. Hey, you never know. A girl can manifest, right?
Yeah, that's right.
And I'll be covering that for Curated Texan. So for those of you who are curious about what is going on at that fabulous new place, I'll have all the ins and outs for you.
Yeah. All right. Your book, you have several designers you've worked with, and they've made comments on your book, and they've manifested their moments as well. People like Isaac Mizrahi, Nicole Miller. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. And I just love your spunk and how you just basically say, look, take control of your own life where you can.
Well, thank you so much for having me. And for anyone who'd like to join me, we're doing a big book launch on October 16th at 6 p.m. at Hotel St. Augustine. It's going to be a blast. We're going to spin some vinyl and sign some books and give away some prizes. So come manifest with us.
All right. Safe travels back home.
Thanks so much.
All right, as Jenny mentioned, okay, that book launch is going to be at Hotel St. Augustine, and she's going to have the drinks and all the stuff, and you can talk to her and ask questions. It'll be from 6 to 8 p.m. there. All right, that's October 16th.